first question is, what inspired you to work to help advocate for children and families?
I've always been an advocate, maybe not as vocal as I have come to be, but my mother, Doris Hartsfield, who's now 92 years old, is was a first grade teacher for 37 years in the Winston-Salem Forsyth County school system. And her very good friend and mentor and a person that she was always around was Miss Louise Smith. And Miss Louise Smith was a pioneer in the early childhood education the whole evolution,
Mhm.
and was very instrumental in Head Start
Okay.
and other programs to assist young folk. So I grew up always in a world where I knew that children were important, and the importance of children, but more importantly, I saw how my mama loved those children. And
Yeah.
that was pre-K, that was pre Mord 4, that was pre all of those things. Mr. Neva Brown was also my neighbor, lived down the street. So I grew up in an education community and really thought for probably the first few years of my life that I was going to be a teacher. I didn't want to teach little kids, but I
Mhm.
did want to teach high school English. And still to someday regret that I didn't do that. So when I went on the bench in 2002, the process for presiding over juvenile and abuse, neglect, and dependency court was a little different. The certification process was a little different. And frankly, I didn't want to preside over juvenile court because I saw it as being sort of a stigma.
Mhm.
Women, you go work with the kids. I mean, just like traditional kinds of jobs that, people have been given all along. But slowly, I morphed into it, and realized that actually there was a war going on
Mhm.
with our children in the school, in the court, in their homes, and that someone needed to step up to make sure they were getting the protections that they needed. So it was when I came into that arena of becoming a judge, because remember, 8 years before that, I had been the child support attorney. So even though
Right.
that was a different advocacy, I still was advocating for children to
Right.
get what they needed to survive, to get the health insurance they needed, to get the support they needed from families, and to do other kinds of things. So I suppose at the end of the day, children have always been forefront in my life, but didn't come full circle until I started in my